Hey, Tony Gaskins here. Now, popping in for a little video. Now, I can't talk too loud. My son in my office, and he playing his video game, and so our voices will be carrying. And y'all got to forgive me. I got my white man hat on today. You know, this how the white man wear their hat it be tight on your head. You know, the black guy, we wear the fitted cap. This is an old tight one. But I want to talk to you about this because, and you're going to have to kind of finagle the message a little bit, do you a little bit of use inference, because when I say how to leave look ugly, it's not just it's relationships, but you'll have to sit and kind of minister. Hold on, quick, something on my head. Minister to yourself on if you need to leave somebody else, like another influence in your life. And but I'm gonna focus it directly on a relationship so that I can focus in and kind of be direct with the message and stay locked in on that. Because there comes a time where you start to feel, enlightened. And with that enlightenment, you start to realize, like, man, you know what? I've been bamboozled. I've been taken advantage of. I've been lied to, mistreated, and used. And you come to a place to where you say to yourself, you like, hey, I'd rather be alone than to be in this relationship with this person who is taking me for granted and getting over on me. And you want to leave, but leaving is not easy, because see, one thing about it, when you're dealing with somebody with the spirit a little ugly, they trap you in so many different ways. So they trap you by being friends with your friends. They trap you by having you become friends with their friends. They may trap you by having a child with you. They may trap you by having a lease or a mortgage with you, a car note with you. They may trap you by getting you a position, getting you put in position, getting you a job, getting you a connection. So Lil Ugly always knows what he's gonna do. Now, when I say he, I'm saying he or she, but just for the sake of focus, I'm saying he. Lil Ugly always knows what he's gonna do. So let's say you meet Lil Ugly and you lose your job. Lil Ugly might have a position for you to where now Lil Ugly becomes the hand that's feeding you. You are Lil Ugly's assistant. You his assistant, you his stage hand, you his producer, you his whatever, you his business partner, might even make you co-owner of a new LLC that he knows is going to make some money. Might not make the world's most amount of money, but if he already got a following or a brand or a network or audience or whatever it may be, just known in the city, now you got money coming in. So it might trap you like that. Might put you with a friend or family member who gives you a job. Trap you like that. Might, like I said, have a child with you. Trap you like that. So you got to understand that Lil Ugly always gonna put some kind of hook in you to keep you there. That hook could be his or her child. It could be his child that you have taken a liking to, and that child has taken a liking to you, and y'all get along. Y'all go shopping, y'all go hang out, y'all do whatever. But you being tormented in this relationship and you don't know how to leave, because now it ain't just gonna hurt the person, the man you trying to leave. It's also gonna hurt the child that you've been looking out for and you've become like a mother to or a father to, what have you. And that's what you got to realize and understand. But now at the other part of this, because you're saying you're like, well, what do I do? How do I leave? Well, what you have to realize with this is that if you stay, y'all gotta forgive me, this hat too tight. I'm gonna have to let the white man hat go, because I'm seeing double. I'm trying to look up here at the camera, going cross-eyed, hat squeezing my head, and I have a big head too. And this supposed to just like one of them spandex hats. It's like, well, I need a little more stretch in this thing. My goodness. And the hat I had on earlier is a white man hat too, so it fit the same way, and my head too big for that. So you have to, y'all gotta forgive me. This hat so tight to my the Holy Spirit. I got what I was saying. I ain't get my hair cut, so I had to put this hat on. Now the hairline ain't lining, and so you have to come to a place to where you able to look and you say, okay, if I stay with this spirit a little ugly, I'm gonna feel like jumping on somebody's bridge. Like I'm gonna be, and now you could be married. Oh, could trap you with marriage. You could be married to this spirit. And so you sitting there and you have to look at the alternative. You're gonna feel like going crazy, you're gonna feel like doing something, you're gonna feel like cheating, getting into some kind of sin, you're gonna feel like hurting somebody, you're gonna feel like hurting yourself. Something is going to be the issue. And you gotta realize that anybody that look ugly has trapped you with or trapped you by, anybody that look ugly has trapped you with or by, y'all gotta forgive me. I gotta keep an eye on my phone because my Wi-Fi, and we still out of power and all of that. And she got Tatum, so I just got to make sure. Okay. Note from the school about the campus. So you have to be able to look and say, whoever this is, I got to let go for a period of time or forever. They're gonna be okay. That's what you have to understand. If you gotta cut ties with a stepchild, if you got to cut ties with a mother-in-law, whether it's literally your mother-in-law or just y'all dating closely, a father-in-law, a sister-in-law, brother-in-law, if you have to quit a job, if you got to leave that job, resign because of the connection was from Lil Ugly, whatever you got to do, it costs less than your peace and your sanity. That's what you have to realize. Because you only get one life to live and life is precious. And when you find the strength and you find the strength to leave, you have to make up your mind. See, the thing about it is, if you know, because you've dropped hints, you've said little stuff, and Lil Ugly will pretend to change for a week or two, sometimes a month, and then go right back to who he was. So if you know you've done what you can and you've tried your best to get the message out there, it comes to a place and a time to where you like, okay, I done did everything I could. Like we done went to counseling or did coaching or we've read books, we've done a retreat, we've talked about it a million times, and I'm going through the same thing. Like nothing is changing. And sometimes you haven't done all those things because Lil Ugly don't want to do all those things. Lil Ugly will convince you we can work this out. It's just me and you. We don't need nobody in our business. We ain't got to talk to the pastor. We ain't got to talk to the counselor or the coach. Everybody don't know what they talking about. Everybody going through. Everybody lying about their relationship. Everybody struggling. Sometimes Lil Ugly will twist your arm to stay in what you've been in. And so you have to understand that. And in understanding that, you have to realize that when you have tried everything you know how to try, or everything that you were capable of trying based on what they will and would not do, when it's time to leave, you got to leave. You got to leave. And when I say leave, what I mean by that is you got to be ready to go and not look back. Because if you tell Lil Ugly you getting ready to leave, he might change, do another fake change. He might start sewing up loose ends. He might start talking to your mama, talking to his mama, gathering the allies to team up with him to team against you. He might start bad mouthing you, telling people you crazy, telling people you this, telling people you trying to take his child, telling people whatever. He start planting those seeds so that when you leave, he got all them allies against you. He got everybody either singing his praises or bashing you. One or the other, and sometimes both. So when you get ready to leave, you got to be ready to leave. And once you do this, This hat got me feeling like the women who be arching their eyebrows too high and they be looking surprised all the time, and the eyebrows be up. Like that's what the hat got me feeling like. And so once you leave, you got to be ready for it all, and you have to understand that Look Ugly will have different phases. So, and now I'm gonna just throw a bunch of them out there, but it could be a certain combination of them. It could be all of them. It could just be one, two of them. But one of the things Look Ugly gonna do first, it'll be one of them. I ain't gonna say first because it's no particular order. One of them will be people bashing you. Oh, she crazy. Oh, she tried to steal his child. Oh, she want to keep the child from him. If it's y'all, both of y'all child, not just his child. Oh, she lied on him. Oh, she cheated on him. Ah, she been using him. People bashing you. They doing his friends and family or whoever, even maybe some of y'all mutual friends, they doing subliminal Facebook statuses, Facebook posts, subliminal notes on Instagram. You know how you put a little note with your profile thing, subliminal stories. And that right there could beat you down because you're like, man, I don't want people talking bad about my character. And then that bring you in, that pull you back to Little Ugly. And you like, why are you telling people this? Why are you saying this about me? Why are you doing this? Y'all, let me cut my AC down because it's Friday. And I think I got it set to go to 78. Y'all give me 1 second. Show did. See, I'm supposed to get off at 5 p.m. on Friday. I'm supposed to get off. Y'all got to forgive me. The hurricane and week. I done gained some weight, so it's hard for me to breathe. I just got done eating. I'm over here lower breath. And I ate too much. I put some weight on this week. I got to fast next week after this here storm. And so that's the first thing. So you may be the type to where you really take care of your name and you don't want people thinking bad of you. You don't want people. So you go back to Look Ugly. Why is such and such posting this? Why is your sister posting that? People don't know. People take people for granted. People who done everything for them and then want to play the victim. Why did she post that? Because I know she talking about me and she unfriended me. And then Lil Ugly gonna be like, what are you talking about? I didn't say nothing to my sister. That has nothing to do with you. See, that's your problem. You always make everything about you. You think you're so special. You're so arrogant. You're so stuck up. See, this is why we can't work right here. And then you trying to make like you want to leave me when it's you the problem. You are a narcissist. You now Little Ugly now could be a whole narcissist. Y'all know the term, not me. Y'all geniuses, not me now. So it could be a whole narcissist, all or whatever, whichever one you wanted to be. Not covert, overt, bovert, slowvert, narcissist, and will call you a narcissist. Oh, you a narcissist because you think everything about you. Oh, so Michelle Obama posts about you too, huh? I called the White House and talked to her, huh? Who else posted about you out there? And would just kind of exaggerate, go over, and just turn everything that he know he did. He would try to make you feel shame, stupid, bad. And so then just out of you wanting to protect your name, you back in his grass. Cause he'll flip it on you. If it ain't you, I ain't said nothing to my sister, but if it ain't you, hit dog holler. So why you calling me about that? Are you trying to say that that's not you? That's not what you did? Okay, well, if that ain't what you did, then you need to prove it. Then you need to show me that ain't what you did. So now you torn, and you like, man, do I need to like? Is it me? Did I do that? Am I a narcissist? Am I selfish? Like, what did I do? Like, man, maybe I need to give this one more chance because maybe I'm the problem. That's how Little Ugly do you. Now the other One of the other tactics Lil Ugly will do will have everybody calling you. Oh, he is a good man. When Lil John lost his leg, he offered to give him his leg. And he went down to the hospital and he signed the leg donor sheet, and he was about to donate his right leg, and he right-legged. He was about to donate his right leg, but they told him the blood didn't match. You finna leave a man that'll give his right leg for his best friend? How dare you do that? The pastor calling you. You know, this ain't nothing but spiritual warfare. I'm getting to elevate. I'm getting ready to elevate Lil John to overseer. And he gonna be over 12 different parishes. And you want to leave him? And you leave him because of his spiritual warfare. So I really want you to ask yourself, and I want you to ask yourself, do you think you Esther? Or do you think you Ruth? Or do you think you Jezebel? Because I feel like the spirit has come upon you. The Jezebel spirit has come upon you, and you have been deceived. Who have you been listening to online? Tony Gaskins or somebody like that? Because you have been deceived, and you getting ready to make the biggest mistake of your life, because you're getting ready to leave a true apostle of God. And yes, he have a toupee and a comb over, but that does not matter. He is still. And so now the pastor on the phone, he just coming, he just pulling stuff all from everywhere. And the pastor doing it because he's been deceived. He under the spirit of Lil Ugly too and don't even realize it. And him and the pastor might be sleeping together, or him and the pastor might be on the road sleeping with the prostitutes that they paying, and could be transvestites. I coached a lady who had video of her man doing sexual acts with their pastor. So that's a real thing. That happened in real life. Forgive me if I'm looking at you surprised. This hat, it tan me up. And so you have to realize that. Now, that's another one of the tactics. Now, sometimes Lil Ugly want to get irate. So knowing that you are protective about your name and you protective about your business, and you don't want to be in no foolishness, and so you very, very slow to call the police, knowing that you don't like the police, you don't want to call the police on a black man because you love black men. You done seen unarmed black men lose their life to the police. Lil Ugly notice about you. So now Lil Ugly may start issuing threats to you, threatening you. And you don't know if he gonna carry out them threats or not. Lil Ugly may start threatening you that he'll harm himself, that he'll take his own life. Lil Ugly may call you, may FaceTime you, or send you a video of him mashing the gas all the way to the pedal. He might send you a video boohoo crying with the barrel in his mouth. And he know that you so secretive, he know you're not going to send that video to nobody, because he knows that you are trapped in the prison of public perception. And he knows that you don't want anybody to know what y'all got going on, and in the depths of hell that you have went to with him, that your name and your reputation in the city with your family, with his family, means so much to you, that he has a confidant in you. So he might actually take a little, he might take something and actually do him a little nick right there and send you a picture of it, to where you thinking he done slit something. He might go get some fake blood and put on there and send that to you. Like that's another tactic that could be used. The threatening situation might try to scare you. You in the kitchen washing dishes. He walk up to the window. It's 10:30 at night. He put his face to the window. Get all the way in there. Face all the way. You watch this, you look up and you jump out your skin. You done bust the plate and he just looking at you. right through the window. You might get ready to leave work, be biking out. He's sitting right there in the car, right behind your car. You bike out, you see him, you see his car. You pull off, he might follow you for a little bit. You panicking, you scared, you because women losing their life every day to a man who has lost his mind, a man who has been turned over to this spirit of little ugly. Women losing their life every day. So he knows he may not be the type to even bust a grape. He won't even bust a grape literally. He'll let that grape live. He don't even eat grapes. And he'll take and y'all gotta forget one of my clients to write me. So he'll take and he will look and he'll say, okay, I'm gonna scare, I'm gonna scare. So now you start to panic and you start to worry and you start to feel like you're gonna lose your life. So you're like, okay, man, this man is nothing without me. This man gonna go crazy. So man, maybe this is real love. Maybe he really loved me because he acted so crazy. But see, it's not love. It's self-hate. It's his self-hate. And he wants you as his human teddy bear. He want to be able to control you. Remember what traumatized boys do with their stuffed animal. When they are hurting and scared, they cuddle with it, they hold it. When they're angry, they rip off the leg, rip off the arm, throw it against the wall. When they realize that they are all alone, then they go pick it up and they stitch it back together. Or if it's plastic and just leg popped out of it, they pop it back in. And they'll makeshift, they'll put it back together. They'll get a marble and make that the new eye. They'll get an arm off of a Barbie doll from they sister, the foster care sister, and pop that out and put that in his little GI Joe. Like he'll stitch it together because he realized, wow, I got angry and I ripped this thing up, throwed it against the wall. Then I realized I'm all alone, so now I got to go get it and put it back together. Little ugly will make you his human teddy bear, and that's how you will feel. So you are unsure because you're like, you feel like his life, his breath, his oxygen, but then you also feel like his worst enemy, his nemesis. And you're like, okay, man, I'm confused because one day the man treat me like he hate me. The next day he treat me like he can't live without me. Then when I try to leave, instead of him being like good riddance, he chasing me down and I feel like I'm in a movie with Jason or Freddy Krueger. Every time I look back, he there with something in it. And so now you so emotional. Like you going to work, somebody talking to you, you staring out in space. So they it's creating a narrative like something off with her, like something wrong with her. Like I was talking to her and she was just like a zombie. So if the news come out on Facebook, your coworkers start to see these subliminal posts. They're like, oh, okay, that's what she got going on. Oh, you know what? She might be the problem. So even though Lil Ugly ain't even talked to your coworker putting it together. Now your coworker gossiping about you because Lil Ugly done traumatized you so much, scared you so much that you showing signs of a victim at work, but people can't tell because of what they seeing on Facebook from Lil Ugly. They got they confuse if you are the victim or if you are the offender, if you the master manipulator and you trying to pose as a victim, but really you are the offender causing the problem. So people will literally be confused. The pastor will be confused. The in-laws will be confused. Your people, your parents will be confused. Your co-workers, your friends, your family, people will not know who to blame. And they'll get so many mixed messages from social media and all that they like. And then here go one day, Lil Ugly will sit there and post a picture of him crying, or he'll post a picture of you and him and soft, beautiful music and write that you the love of his life. So now he's setting you up. So when you leave, it's like, wow, she just discarded this good man. Like this man is known and loved and respected by his friends, his family, the community. and she just miss it. She thinks she all that. She thinks she the star cheerleader. She thinks she the main character. So she just done left them and nobody know what you're going through. Now, another tactic that Lil Ugly will use is social abuse is what I call it, where he may make attacking posts, he may make accusatory posts, he may make victim posts, sad fishing, like catfishing, sad fishing online. He may make those things. So now he takes and he makes certain posts to where his comments are full of women, all the women he went to high school, college with, co-workers, all of that. They all in the comments. Keep your head up. You're such an amazing man. If a woman doesn't, you know, want you, she don't deserve you. Like, don't do anything like that. Like, love yourself. This is something where you gotta love you. And it'll just be all kind of different little stuff. And you just like, man, like, what's going on? Like, you sitting there and like, wow, so maybe, man, all these people, maybe they right. I don't know how to appreciate a good man. And you had a toxic ex. So now you thinking that you are sabotaging this relationship with Lil Ugly because you're not even calling him Lil Ugly because of what the social abuse tactic he using is making it look like. And so once again, boom, you trapped. So you got to think about this and you got to realize like, okay, uh-oh, what happened with this now? What? What? Nope, I ain't gonna be able to make it. They done changed the location of the game. No, no, nobody like that team that much. Be driving that far. No, that's great. And so you have to think about that. And then once you realize that, and you start to see, like, wow, okay. So these tactics are endless. I mean, Lil Ugly might call the police. Now remember, this could be a woman too. Now I'm just speaking this for sake of focus. Lil Ugly might get the police involved, ambulance, fire truck. Like it ain't no, might have a little kid, y'all kid or his child. I love you so much. Daddy said that you're thinking about leaving us. If you leave us, I'm gonna K myself. I cannot live without you. Now, what you are forgetting is that children are resilient, that you ain't never seen a child do something to themselves, like to delete themselves because a parent left. You ain't never seen that. Yes, it'd be a hole in the heart sometimes with their biological parent or somebody they're gonna miss, but God made children resilient for that reason. Think about what you have gone through. And yes, you had some trauma, you had some pain, but look where you at today, still standing. Think about everybody you know that as a child, something happened and or their parents got a divorce or split up or they didn't know their dad. They might have went through, now some people go through some things and end up in prison or something like that, but on average children are resilient. But Lil Ugly will use a child. Lil Ugly will use a crippled person. Lil Ugly will use a specially abled person. Lil Ugly will use an elderly person. Lil Ugly will use anybody as a pawn on his chessboard to get sympathy from you and to make you feel like if you leave him, you're not just leaving him, but you're breaking the heart of this other person or these other people. So you feel like, and then what's going to happen is you're going to look at yourself and you're going to say, well, I'm not suicidal yet. I'm not homicidal yet. I am built for it tough. I can sustain it. I don't want to. I'm miserable. I'm unhappy, but my happiness isn't as important as this other person's happiness, this child's happiness, this elderly person. And the thing about it is people when they under that spell, when they under that spirit of Little Ugly, like the people who are affected by that spirit, not the host, but the people that they get, that they manipulate and deceive. When somebody who is unaware has had interaction with that spirit, they don't really know and understand. Like they will say anything out their mouth. Like they will guilt trip you to no end on behalf of Little Ugly. Like they will cry. They might threaten to hurt themselves. They may actually hurt themselves because they are also under the influence of that demonic spirit. Like that person has gotten to them on that level and is doing to them the same thing he's doing to you. And it literally could be a little child. They don't care. It literally could be a special needs child or a special needs person. If they got access to an adult age person with a severe form of like autism or something, or a very a special type of autism or Down syndrome or what have you, they will go and they'll twist something with this person and they will have this. And you know how people who are young or people who are really old or people who are special needs, they might not be able to register it all, and they will go and like, hey, you need to talk to Lisa because she's gonna leave us, and if she leave us, I'm gonna K myself, and then and I know you love me, that's gonna make you want to K yourself, and then she gonna be sad, and then she might K herself. You need to go talk to her, and you need to talk to her every single day. And they'll tell that 4-year old that. They will tell that 98-year old that. They will tell that special needs person that. So I'm sharing this as an example because I want you to understand that there is no end that Little Ugly will go to suck you back in, to keep you trapped, to keep you warped, to keep you locked in. There is no end. So you got to realize and understand that. And you got to be able to look and say, okay, all right, what we got going on here now? And it comes to a point where when you get to that point of no return, you got to be able to make up your mind and be able to say, you know what? I'm going to, I got to move forward because it's me or them. Like either I'm going to lose my mind because there is no stress that affects the body worse than relationship stress. Studies show that relationship stress has the greatest effect on the body, more than work related stress, death related stress, family stress. Relationship stress increases your chances of a premature death by 200 to 300%, meaning that you releasing so much cortisol. You going I read an article one time that said people who have like things in their mind that's on a loop that releases cortisol are most likely gonna die by the age of 56. Like you gotta find peace. You gotta create peace. Like you gotta separate, you gotta cut ties, and you got to pour into you. You got to do what you got to do, whatever that may mean. Going to the spa, going on walks, sniffing roses, whatever it may be, getting in a sauna, a jacuzzi, getting a massage, whatever it is you got to do, as long as it's legal and healthy, you need to do it. So I had to realize, like with my mental health, okay, what do I need to do? For me, serving. So if I need to do 2 videos a day, I'm gonna do 2 videos a day because nothing makes me feel better than serving. All right. Outside of serving, what I want to do, I want to experience life. I want to try different restaurants. I want to try the Japanese restaurant, the Mexican restaurant, the Jamaican restaurant, the Asian restaurant, Mexican, whatever it is, Filipino. I want to experience life. Oh, I want to go to the movie. Oh, I want to get golf lessons. Oh, I want to do tennis lessons. Oh, I want to do this. I want to do that. Like, I got to live. I got to occupy my time. And outside of reading my Bible, serving the Lord, and what have you, and then serving others, I got to do this. So you have to think about that, and you got to create your plan. And based on your budget. So let's say, hey, I ain't got no money to travel here. I ain't got no money to do this. Go to the park, to the state park, walk around. Daytime, well lit, where everybody out there. Go to you buy the walking path over the water or whatever. Go do that. Go do a picnic by yourself. Go do something that is in your budget. It might be a pottery class, a painting class, a little sign up for 10 piano lessons. It's $20, $25 a lesson. Invest 250 in there, something that is going to take your mind and just let you escape the problem right there. And you couple that now with prayer and all of this, you might even need to fast a little bit, whether that's 12 hours, 18, 24, 36, 48, 72, 90, whatever the fast is that your body can handle. Listening to your body, you do that, and you create that mental clarity, and you start to focus, because otherwise you cutting time off of your life, and Look Ugly is not going to give you that time back. You, whatever you killing in your body, your adrenal glands, your kidney, your liver, whatever you killing in your body, Look Ugly ain't gonna offer you his. He will create an early death for you, push you closer to your death, but have a life insurance policy on you, help you die early, get paid out, then be at your funeral, boohoo, bawling, crying, rolling on the floor, and then vowing to abstinence and vowing to never marry again. And he the one help take you out by stressing you to no end, using you to no end. And so what you have to realize, and because there's so many times I'm coaching somebody who is a victim of Look Ugly, and they're like, oh, we got a business together. Oh, we got a house together. Oh, we on the same lease. Oh, we got kids. Oh, I love my step kids, my bonus kids, whatever they call it. Oh, I love his mom. Me and her are best friends, or his sister, we best friends. And it's always this a bunch of ties, or at least a few ties, that the woman is like, I don't know how to break that. I don't know how to let go, but this relationship is driving me crazy. And so that's what you got to realize and understand. And with Look Ugly now, Look Ugly will turn your own family against you. And so some of these tactics, and I want you to sit down and kind of think of the other tactics that have happened that I maybe didn't mention here today. But then even the ones that I didn't mention, and the ones that haven't happened, I just want you to understand that the goal of this tactic is to guilt trip you, and or to scare you, to coerce you, to control you, and whatever that tactic may be. So there are no rules with Look Ugly. There are no parameters with Look Ugly. There is not, like, Look Ugly may have somebody threaten to take your life. Look Ugly may have a transvestite threaten to beat the brakes off you if you lead a friend. Like, there's no rules with Look Ugly. Look Ugly may try to guilt you in a crazy way. The Ugly may go ahead and stoke and poke and probe his mistress to come out to you. And because Look Ugly knows that a lot of women, when they hear of a mistress, it induces this feeling of inadequacy, of why am I not good enough? Why am I not enough? And then it brings the woman back to Look Ugly to say, why am I not enough? Why did you do this to me? What about her is better than me? Is it her butt that's bigger than mine? Is it her breast? Is it her smile? Does she come money? Is it because she's another race? Is it because she has a better degree or a better job? Like, why did you choose her over me? And you could have been on your way out the door, and you got the upper hand, and you loving yourself, and you getting ready to walk out, and then boom, you get pulled in through inadequacy, made to feel like you less than. And then just it creates that conversation, it creates that argument. You want to beat them, punch them, stab them, cut them, sleep with somebody to get back at them. But at the end of the day, you giving energy. You giving your energy, you giving your heart and mind, your time, and you will degrade yourself. Like what I heard with the rapper Offset and Cardi B. It's been some rumblings. A few of y'all done asked me to speak on it, but I just keep forgetting. I haven't looked into it. But now what they trying to say is that, he was cheating on her, and that she went and basically, while she was pregnant or something, slept with an NFL player to get back at him. So, and think about that. That's a spirit a little ugly on the rapper. If the story is true, I'm just using an example. It might not even be true, but that's what the spirit of little ugly will do. So now the rapper, because think about this: when the woman, let's say the woman go and sleep with a man because her man slept with another woman. Well, that woman degrading herself to get revenge with that man, to on that man, she just created a soul tie. She also could have caught an STD. Now, if the woman, they saying she did it while she was pregnant, but if a woman is not pregnant, she could have got pregnant with a man that she don't love, that she don't care about. The man don't love her, don't care about her, and now she pregnant. And it's just, even though she pregnant, she just can't bring herself to terminating the pregnancy because she's just not built like that. And now she just proved little ugly right, so to speak, because now he get to say she cheated on me, she slept with another man, she got pregnant, and she had to go to the clinic to terminate it, or she couldn't terminate, so she kept it, and then she tried to lie to me and tell me it was mine. So now, just in that one act, Lil Ugly has been vindicated. He has been redeemed. Like now he goes from being the offender to now he is the victim, because the woman was made to feel inadequate, made angry, and then she stooped to his level and she retaliated. I remember reading this lady quote at her desk when I was working in corporate when I was in college, and she had this thing on her desk. It was like a little printout, and it said, when make sure when you're fighting a monster that you don't become one too, or when dealing with a monster you don't become one too. And that's what Lil Ugly want to do. Lil Ugly wants you to mirror him so that you can't say you're better than him. Lil Ugly wants you to do to him. So Lil Ugly may antagonize you and do everything to you emotionally to make you lash out physically. But he will get in the line to where when you lash out physically because you have lost your mind, because you've been really pushed to your edge, when you lash out, let's say you lash out and you throw something, instead of ducking, he gonna jump into it. Uh, cut, leaking. Now he mentally abused you, knowing that because of where you from, because of how you built, because of how you cut, because of what you done been through, you gonna throw hands. You gonna get physical. So now, boom, black eye, or a bust lip, or a cut. Now he got something to show. He might not, he might hide out from Facebook, Instagram. He might not go live with it, but he gonna show it to enough people to where now you trap. Now, because it's no excuse. It's no excuse for you to get physical. Now we know we could be pushed to a point emotionally to where we lash out physically because we just out of words, we out of tears, we out of whatever. And we know as humans that could happen. That's, well, somebody could do something to us emotionally that's so bad that we turn physical. But guess what? To the outsiders, there is no excuse for you to ever, under any circumstances, get physical. Now, if they had to walk a mile in your shoes, they would have got physical too. But nobody gonna give you the benefit of the doubt on that. Like because it's let me give you an example. You getting ready to leave, you coming into the house one day, little ugly, done paid a prostitute. He know what time you coming home. You walk in there, and it ain't even just missionary. He being real disrespectful. It's like doggy style or something. And just look at you. And while he looking at you, get 2, 3 more pumps in. So now you just enraged because your mind racing. You don't know if this an everyday thing, if this an every week thing. You can't necessarily see no protection. You don't know what's going on, and you just reach over, grab a vase, throw it, boom, hit them, bust on them, cut them. Now, don't matter. Now, oh, he was doing this. The people like, you could have left. You could have left. You didn't have to do that. You could have took that man's life with that. Anything could have happened. Oh, you must ain't been cooking. You must ain't been cleaning. Oh, that must have been retaliation. Oh, nobody gonna do that. Do you that nasty unless you did something. What you ain't telling me? What did you do? Who did you sleep with? Who he caught you sleeping with? Because that ain't even like him. He a deacon in the church. He be praying for my son. He mentor all the kids downtown. That man ain't like that. So what you did to that man to make that man do something like that? So now, boom, you wrapped up, trapped up, now just like that. So you have to understand this, that when you get ready to leave Lil Ugly, you got to cut all ties and you have to make up your mind that nothing he does will bring you back. You have to forfeit your reputation, sacrifice your reputation. You got to be okay being talked about, be okay being blamed, be okay with other people having secondhand heartbreak because you had to let go a little ugly. Pray for them, wish them the best. You can actually send them a card or a letter explaining to them what really was going on. But be okay if they blame it on you. Be okay if they don't believe you. Be okay with that. At the end of the day, you have your story, you have your truth. It's your life, it's your heart. You know what you lived with, you know what you put up with, you know that God's seen it all, and that's all you have to care about. You cannot become a slave to your reputation or a slave to people's opinions because that's what Lil Ugly plays on. He plays on the fact that you care so much about your image. You care so much about your job. You care so much about your volunteer hours. You care so much about what you're doing in the community that you don't want any lies about you to come out and somebody just and they gotta fire you or cut ties with you just in case what is being said is true. And now you are a casualty of spiritual warfare. So you have to understand that going into it, when it's time to leave, take everything off the table and know that anything could be said and done. Now, sometimes people say, well, it's not that easy to leave because people lose their life when they leave. And that's when it goes back to you have to ask yourself, do you want to live on your knees or die standing up? And I'm not saying this in a literal sense, although this can be literal. So if you think this could be literal, that you literally could lose your life, then that means your plan has to be that much greater. That means you can't just leave and go stay with your mama. That means you got to stay in this relationship. You got to disarm and distract Lil Ugly with all of the praise, all of the service, all of the sex, all of whatever it takes to just put him in a state of euphoria to where he never sees anything coming. And then you have worked and you have saved and you've talked to key allies, people that you know, love, and trust, people you know are going to believe you. And you've gotten up enough money. You've already put in for a transfer or you've already found a job. You might live in Washington, D.C., and you done found a job in Dallas, Texas. And when Lil Ugly go to work, soon as Lil Ugly go to work, you up out of there. Boom, you on the first thing smoking. And listen, leave what you got to leave. If you got a Ring camera, like one of them cameras at the house, which Lil Ugly most likely gonna have, because he knows that one day the reaper gonna come. Like he knows that eventually he's gonna reap what he sows. So he gonna have cameras in the house, outside the house, because deep down he thinking like one day a man gonna tiptoe in my house and come and put wood on my woman because of how I'm treating her. Like she gonna step out on me. So that's what he thinking. Even if you're not that type of person and you'll never do that. So if a moving truck pull up and then stuff getting carried out, oh, look, Ugly on the first thing, he 120 miles an hour. You ain't finna get out of there without hands getting put on you, police getting called, some type of detraction, something going on. Might even make you hit him so you get arrested because he got the blood or the black eye to show for it. You get arrested. Now you can't go nowhere. Now you lose your job. So now your transfer to Dallas is canceled because you had to punch him in the eye, but you ain't got no marks on you. He didn't put no hands on you. He just got to a point where he made you punch him. Now, the moving guy, he got a record, so he don't talk to police. So he not finna tell your side, but he also in the red pill community, so he don't know what you done to make this man act like this. And he seen you punch the man, even though the man looked like he was about to stab you or hurt you. So you swung on him. None of that matters. Transfer counsel, you arrested, you in handcuffs, you going down to the precinct. Now, this done happened to people on here because I done seen people comment about it. It done happened to some women on here that went to jail over the man after getting into a fight with him. So this real stuff now. So you have to realize that. So whatever you got to leave in the past, leave it in the past. Like when you get with Lil Ugly, sometimes you got to just chalk it up. Like you got to chalk up, leave that. I know you spent thousands for that couch, for the mattress, whatever. Get all your jewelry, all your expensive clothes, or whatever that you could put in a little luggage or something. If you could walk out the back of the house or whatever you could do, put in the box. Oh, I'm finna go mail off this stuff to Goodwill. When you walking out the Ring camera, oh, I'm going to mail this stuff off to Goodwill. And then boom, you got what you need in that box and you gone. Just chalk it up. Or if you know you finna leave, you got to do like Jennifer Lopez on that movie, Enough. And you got to have your whole plan. Have your whole plan. See, J-Lo took that script because she probably was with P. Diddy. So she was like, ooh, I'm gonna need this here. This is a real deal. I'm gonna have to beat the brakes off this man. I think the movie was called Enough with Jennifer Lopez. So that's what you got to take and do, to where you have to be crafty. You got to outsmart the devil. So you got to have your plan, because where you could be mailing stuff to your friend or family in Dallas for 6 months, little stuff getting mailed, getting shipped out. Hey, taking this, from a nonprofit, taking this to Goodwill, whatever, little stuff. Little Ugly don't notice it because he caught up in his own games. Next thing you know, while he at work, boom, you're on the first thing smoking. He don't know where you went. He don't know where you went. And you have to be, you got to do recognizance, like a special ops person, meaning you done got you a new phone, so that if you had a tracking app on that phone, you got a whole new phone plan. You ain't in no vehicle in case you got a track on the vehicle. If it could be a track on there, you take it down to the place where they know how to look for the trackers, or you take the vehicle to CarMax and sell it, take that money, trade into a new vehicle, just in case you got a track on there. Get your new phone just in case. Don't even re-download your phone. You just get the contacts out you need. Don't even switch it over, because the app could be a hidden app that get put on your new phone too. So you have to outsmart the adversary when you dealing with this type of thing, and you in a toxic relationship that is killing you slowly day by day, and you at your wits end and you losing it. Your life is on the line, because even if physical hands are not being put on you, you dying a slow death from the inside out just because of the cortisol. just because of all them different toxins being released into your bloodstream from always stressing, always anxious, always angry, always fearful. All of that is poison in your body, and you got to be broke free. You got to be set free from that, and so you got to understand that. Now, this same type of hold that little ugly could have on you, little ugly you sleeping with, this could be also your prophetess that got this little ugly hold on you. This could be your prophet. This could be your apostle. This could be your pastor. This could be your mom. This could be your dad. This could be your brother, your sister, your cousin, your best friend, your coworker, anybody in your life, your son, your daughter, your cousin, anybody in your life, your twin, anybody in your life could have that spirit a little ugly on them and have a demonic hold on you to suffocate the gifts in you, to crucify the purpose that's in you, to detract you, distract you, derail you, and disrupt your destiny. So you have to understand that you cannot tolerate and reinforce destiny disruptors. Now you're gonna hear your pastor preach this, and you're gonna be sitting there like, Pastor, you follow Tony Guys on YouTube? Because he just said destiny disruptors, and then you is right at the Sunday. Now he changed it because he looking through the comments to see. Let me see if my member in here in the comment. Cause boy, this right here finna go, boy. I'm finna tear this thing up Sunday night. And so that's what you have to realize and understand. So understand these two. We just be in the flow on here. I ain't got no note cards or nothing like that. When you see me looking down, I'm reading a email or a text message that came in, because I don't like to write notes and all that. Sometimes people tell me, because it could lock me in. I like to flow with the Holy Spirit because I never know where I'm gonna be taken in the spiritual realm. So I don't like to, if I have bullet points and notes, I'm just gonna be boxed in, because now I'm relying on me. I'm relying on just that, my outline, versus just being fluid with spirit. So understand that. But that's also what allows me to have follow-up videos and touch on different aspects of it. And if you have questions that are like relevant to more than just you can't be a question, hey Tony, I'm dealing with little ugly and he wear a size 11 and a half. So how do I deal with a man who wear 11 and a half? And it's like, you have to be a question that is relatable. Sometimes some of y'all send me questions and it's so specific. You need a one-on-one session with myself or another coach on my mentor.life. God bless you. Keep your head up now. And so we're gonna be, going through this here. And some of the times I'll be doing, it'll be a premiere. So if you see it say premiere, that means it's not live. It's not a Q&A. If it say live, that means it's live right then and there. So, and then when you don't see either, that means I shot it and I just scheduled it for a certain time to go out. And thank you to all the Blessed Tribe members. It looked like we get a few new members every time we go live or have a premiere, get a few new people that join. I really appreciate y'all for that. And shout out to the moderators. The moderators are randomly selected. It's not people that I went to high school or college with, or that I know personally, or people that I've even met in person. I maybe have met one of them or two of them, maybe at an event or something, but not that I could recall or know. And so it just randomly selected individuals who I've seen supporting. And then every now and then, you never know, I might switch it up and grab some other people and, let some other people serve. Because, sometimes people, that's they give back. They see it as a ministry and all of that. So y'all respect the moderators. They under their own judgment and discretion on what's an appropriate comment, what's not. They understand the goal here is to grow and to move forward. They also, I believe, could recognize demonic spirits and people who just come to be a distraction and just sow discord and confusion. So understand that. And appreciate y'all. We're gonna be cranking these out, Lord willing. When I'm able to do 2 videos a day, we're gonna do 2 videos a day. Not always able to, but that's the goal for my supporters, my investors in the channel, people who on here with me. That's my goal, 2 videos a day. And then if I can't do two, then I may have one long one, whether that be an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours or 4 or 5 hours. I seen somebody do a 5 hour video one day and I thought it was crazy, but then I done had a couple of them myself, maybe one or two, about 4 or 5 hours. But that's typically when it's live. And it'll be certain days when I have some free time that I might be able to do something like that. But y'all could put your questions or whatnot in the comments. I don't always get to see them in the email. And sometimes in the email, y'all get a little too carried away. It'd be a little too long. And that's more so talks with Tony. But sometimes I just don't have the energy or the feeling to do a talks with Tony if it feels too specific or something like that. But God bless you. Keep your head up. So as you can see, no, we're not done with the little ugly series. We ain't done with the little smarty series, with the little dummy series. It'll just I'm just flowing and based on what's needed and based on what I'm feeling in my spirit. So we'll bounce around. Sometimes it'll be a general topic, and sometimes it'll be addressing one of these, types of behaviors that I've given my own name to. You call it whatever you want to call it. God bless you. And we'll talk soon.